Welcome to the Global Peace Film Festival Lives Online Conversation 2023 Festival Edition. Please join me, Kelly Devine, the Artistic Director, and Nina Strike, the Founder and Festival Director, in conversation with Erin Laine, the filmmaker behind the film We Support You, which will be playing at the 2023 Global Peace Film Festival as part of the shorts program Helping Hands. You can find out more information about this program and all other programs by visiting peacefilmfest.org. Now, let's welcome Erin to the conversation. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well.
Hi, Erin. Great to see you. And let's start out by tell us a little bit about the film.
So my film is called We Support You. There's a question mark there because it's a thought-provoking piece. It's a documentary shot, some in Orlando, Florida, but most of it is shot on the streets of Krakow, Poland, regarding the refugee crisis that is happening from the situation in Ukraine. Poland received over 1 million refugees within the first couple of months of the war strikes back last March. And it was a very, very hot topic for a long time. You know, we were seeing the marches, everybody was wearing the colors, the flags were out everywhere, everybody was supporting Ukraine. And then as the fall started to approach, I became very sensitive to the fact that the news had sort of, you know, it wasn't sexy news anymore. Nobody was talking about it anymore. The supports were coming down, the flags I wasn't seeing as much anymore. The Facebook profile pictures were coming down, and I'm like, guys, this war is only 5 months in. There's a lot of help that's needed. And so I just started kind of the conversation around my friends and family, and everybody was sort of noticing the same thing, that we had sort of moved on, news had moved on and everybody had moved on. And I just really had a heart for these people, and I didn't feel ready to move on, and I needed to know what they needed. I didn't even know how to help. It was like all of the resources weren't in your face anymore. And so I got on a plane, took a camera, and went to Krakow, Poland, and spent 2 weeks in Krakow, and then spent another week in Opole, Poland, and visited some refugee camps, and just wanted to ask them, like, what do you guys need? Like, help me find a need so I can help fill it, because obviously there was a lot of chaos surrounding what happens to the infrastructure of a city when they absorb 1 million people in a matter of a few weeks. And it was very life-changing. It definitely, the journey was very eye-opening. What an interesting historical place to be in, Krakow, Poland, where so much happened during World War II. And there's so many parallels there between Putin and Hitler. And there was just conversations that were, we were running into people just going and saying, okay, well, I don't know what to do here, but we, started wandering the streets, and we came across protests, and we came across cultural centers, and just started conversations. And I was really shocked at how many people came up to us and thanked us, and were like, oh, you're American, thank you. And we're like, what are you thanking us for? We didn't do anything. Like, we're not even talking about it anymore. So it was very humbling. But anyway, basically the film journeys that whole storyline, and then finding a need that we could work on and bringing it back here and trying to raise funds for it.
Oh, very good, Erin. And you certainly could have undertaken this journey without your camera. But I think what people will find when they watch it is that one of the other things you do to help the folks over there is to give them a chance to give voice to their own feelings and tell their side of the story. Can you talk a little bit about the decision to take a camera? Because that does add a different dimension to your journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great question. I think a big part of that was because I was so sensitive to how, news and media feeds us what's going on. I wanted to bring back real stories. I wanted to sit down, especially with women on camera, who are, the most affected. They're the least decision making and the most affected. Ukrainian women in general have very big families. So a lot of these women, they have, their homes are destroyed. They've got, at least 3, most of the time they have upwards of 4 children, sometimes 5, 6, 7 kids. And the husbands are all fighting and they've got to find somewhere to go. That's a great question, because that is why I wanted to give them a voice and ask them personally, okay, so forget the politics. Let's forget all of the decisions that you had no control over. How is this affecting you and how can I help? Because when we feel so powerless, I feel like, as females in general, a lot of decisions are made for us in the workplace. A lot of decisions are made for us on the political structure, and in the landscape of broader things in the world. And a lot of times, the women are the backbones of these countries. They're raising up these men. They're the ones still working when the men are off fighting. So it was a big goal, was to find as many people as I could to sit down and talk with and hear their stories. And they were, oftentimes very emotional. And sometimes I kind of feel silly, like the silly American, because I was more emotional than they are. They're just sort of like, yes, we're in war. Yes, we're doing this thing. This is how you can help. They're so laser focused that they're telling me these, amazing emotional journeys that they've been on, and they almost can't even let themselves be affected. They have to just move on to the next task. And you're left there feeling an immense amount of gratitude for how good we have it. And feeling very, empathetic.
Well, I think that's something, that anyone who watches the film will take away. And but I'd be interested to hear, generally what you would hope people would take away, and specifically what, you had mentioned, a way for people to help, because taking something in from these films into your own personal life or into your communities is the central part of our festival. So that's why we were so attracted to your film.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, there was a call to action that takes place during the film, that you get to actually see in real time how we answer it, which I think was fun. But in the broader spectrum, there are organizations that we work with that worked with that certain call to action. I guess I can just say what it is. There was a town in a part of Kharkov where a lot of the homes had all been bombed out, and there was a small church organization that was trying to get heaters as soon as possible. They were trying to order, I think it was 6,000 heaters they were trying to get from China in a small amount of time because winter was coming. And, I imagine they're going to be facing that same thing again very soon in the next few months, because the winters there are very deadly. And there are people who can't leave. They weren't able to become refugees and leave. A lot of disabled people, a lot of elderly people, they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have relatives in neighboring Poland or Romania or wherever. And they don't want to leave. Some of them, they just have the spirit that they're like, no, you're not going to take me. The hell no, we won't go. And but they also are living, in conditions with, oftentimes power's on and off, water's on and off, infrastructure's closed. You can't get groceries, you can't get out, you can't get in, and it could be months at a time dealing with any number of those things. So I really wanted to partner up with Samaritan's Purse moving forward. They are really a huge part of the organizations that we partnered up with that are housing so many refugees. They are funding predominantly the non-privately funded refugee camps that are set up in like hotels and resorts and things like that, that had been shut down during the pandemic. They had a huge part of getting those opened up to accept refugees and have people living there for those purposes. So that's the organization that we are calling to action for everyone, is that if you feel moved to give at the end of this film, that you give to Samaritan's Purse for the Ukrainian refugees.
So, Erin, tell us how people can find the film besides at the screening at the festival, and in addition to helping Samaritans First, what can people do to support your work? And also, is there another film coming? What's next for you?
That's a great question. First of all, we're very excited because we love your film festival. It's such an amazing, it's a gift to the film community because it has such an important platform And we're very, very, very excited that this is our world premiere. This will actually be the first place that this has played publicly, other than a small screening that we did for friends and family. So it is just beginning its festival run. I'm not one who likes to have my festival out on the circuit for years and years and years. I'd rather, let's do a quick run and then get it out to the public. So it's not released yet, but it will be probably by spring of next year. It will be out, and we're hoping the best, but really it's about the message and getting that out there. As far as what's next, Fourth Man Productions is my production company. We do other things besides film. We also work in theater. We're doing a community theater show, also raising money for the refugees next weekend, August 25th and 26th. All proceeds are going to Samaritan's Purse, and actually specifically this event, the proceeds are going to refugees living in Opole. There's about 30 families that have been taken into Opole, Poland, through a friend's church organization over there. And we're raising money specifically for those 30 families for this theater thing. But it's 11 one-act plays, all done by local writers, local performers. It's a chance to give local playwrights and maybe some actors who aren't into the bigger theater communities a chance to get their work out there. And we're very excited. This is our third year doing that. And as far as film goes, I don't know what the next film project's going to be right now. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Well, we'll certainly stay in touch with you so that we do find out what that next project is, because we've so enjoyed supporting We Support You and having this conversation with you, Erin. So thank you so much for your time and for your great work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me, and thank you for your film festival.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you to everyone who watched this conversation. Please do go to fourthmanproductions.org if you want to find out more information about Erin Laine's production company, and specifically We Support You. And please do check out the film premiering at the Global Peace Film Festival as part of our in-person screenings running from September 19th through September 23rd, as well as our virtual screenings starting September 25th and ending October the 1st. All the information about our programming can be found at our website, peacefilmfest.org. And do remember to support, after you've seen the film, Samaritan's Purse, as that is the project that Erin's film is supporting. So thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next Glow.
Thank you.
Thank you.